Alright, in these videos I'm going to talk about simplifying some rational expressions. So what is a rational expression or a rational function? It's one in which basically you've got two polynomials in a fraction, like a polynomial in the numerator and a polynomial in the denominator. That's known as a rational expression or rational function. Right? So let's look here. I got 2x squared plus 13x plus 20. On the denominator, I got 2x squared plus 17x plus 30. Okay, now here is what you are going to be tempted to do. You're going to be tempted to say, oh, I got a 2x squared on the numerator, a 2x squared in the denominator. I can cancel those out. But no, you cannot. You cannot cancel those out because you have several terms here adding together. And you can only cancel things out if you have everything factored, like everything as a multiplication, like x times y times z on the top and x times y times something on the bottom. Okay, so you can't just cancel stuff out if different things are adding or subtracting. So in order to cancel things out, we're going to try to factor the top and the bottom first. Okay, so both these are trinomials, so can they be factored? And they both can. The top can be factored into 2x plus 5 times x plus 4. Okay, you can double check that because 2x times 4 is 8x, 5 times x is 5x, adds up to 13x, 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, now in the denominator, I got 2x squared plus 17x plus 30. That can be factored into 2x plus 5 times x plus 6. Okay, and you can double check that to 2x times 6 is 12x, 5 times x is 5x, 12 plus 5 is 17, 5 times 6 is 30. Okay, so now that I have this factored, can I cancel anything out? And look at that, it just so happens that these two polynomials, numerator and denominator, had one factor in common, this 2x plus 5. Since this is factored now, you can cancel out this entire factor from the top and the bottom, from the numerator and the denominator. So my final simplified answer is simply x plus 4 over x plus 6. And now this is as simplified as it can be. I can simplify it no more because neither the numerator nor the denominator can be factored anymore. Okay, so the general idea is in these rational expressions, you're going to factor the numerator and denominator and then see if anything cancels out. Alright, so let's look at this next example. I've got x squared minus 36 over 6 minus x. Alright, now the denominator can't really be factored per se right now because it's just 6 minus x. It's already simplified. The top, though, I get x squared minus 36. Hopefully you'll recognize that as one of my patterns, factoring patterns that we know. It's a difference of squares. X squared and 36 are both perfect squares. So x squared minus 36 can be factored into x minus 6, x plus 6. Okay, now in the denominator I've got 6 minus x. Alright, now let's look here. Can I cancel anything out? Well, I almost have the same factor in the numerator and denominator, but not quite. This one's x minus 6. This one is 6 minus x. So what can I do? Okay, well, what you can do in this case like this is no matter what, you can always factor out a negative 1 if you want to change the signs of something. So like, for example, suppose I got x minus 6, but I want it to be 6 minus x, so I can cancel it out with this. So what I can do in the numerator, or you can do this in the denominator also, is factor out a negative 1. So if you factor out a negative 1 from this factor in the numerator, I'm going to put it outside the parentheses, and this x becomes negative x, and this 6 becomes positive 6, so you end up with actually negative x plus 6. Still have the x plus 6 on top also, and in the denominator you have this 6 minus x. Okay, now is negative x plus 6 the same as 6 minus x? It is exactly the same thing, because negative x plus 6, you could rewrite that to be 6 minus x if you wanted to. It's the same thing. Either way, it cancels out with the bottom. and I am left with a negative x plus 6 on top, and there's really nothing left on the bottom except for 1. In fact, you don't even have to put anything. You can just, if you want to put the 1, you can. And so you could leave your answer like this. If you want it to maybe look a little simpler, you could get rid of the 1, and if you want to, you could go ahead and distribute this negative across, and your final answer could be negative x minus 6, because like you're distributing this negative 1 across the parentheses. But if you left it like that, that's still fine too. Okay? So once again, rational expressions, you're looking to see after you factor, can I cancel anything out?